Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Despite many comments that the Warriors will not give up young talent to bring in a big star, this is partly true, but when it comes to Giannis Antetokounmpo, who can ask for a trade, this will completely change the course of the NBA this season, because several teams will want to put together a trade package for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But the Warriors also want the star who is a perfect fit with Stephen Curry and would be the most feared duo in the NBA. Warriors are interested in Giannis Antetokounmpo if he asks for a trade. Warriors must keen Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstake ticket. Following Bobby Marks' suggestion, the Warriors could be in play for Zion Williamson in the summer. An even more attractive example has been held up. ESPN's own Young Masuk told the Hoop Collective that the Warriors could be in play for Giannis Antetokounmpo if the situation goes south for him with the Milwaukee Bucks. Young Masuk's argument is that the options now for the Warriors are not good enough to burn their assets for, but in the summer, the situation could change. He explained, "If you only have so many assets, I'm holding them for whenever a true superstar, that is a franchise-altering superstar, becomes available to take that swing. If you go and give up some of these assets now for a Niko Vucevic, Jimmy Butler. I don't think there's interest in Butler. But if they were to do that, you can't take a swing then if things go bad in Milwaukee with Giannis this summer, and that is why you have to hold on to your assets to make a run at a guy like that if he becomes available. Because I think Golden State is uniquely positioned for someone like Giannis because of Steph's friendship with Giannis, and Giannis having, kind of like hinted in the past that, the Bay might be intriguing to him with the Warriors. You got to then hold on to your assets for that. The Warriors cannot of course invest in a pipe dream and wait for a scenario that may never happen, but we have seen in the NBA how situations can unfold very quickly. Just look at Jimmy Butler's multiple fallings out with his teams during his career. Giannis previously hailed Curry as the best player in the world after he led the Warriors to the fourth championship win of his distinguished career in 2022. Warriors have more to show. Young Masuk added that the Warriors are yet to show their full form this season, having recently been beset by injuries. He pointed out Jonathan Kuminga's development, a player who has been hailed as the next great Warriors star by former NBA champion B.J. Armstrong. He explained, also, I think look Jonathan Kuminga, he's hurt right now, but he just showed just enough in those 6 games prior to getting hurt enough where he scored 34 in consecutive games that Steve Kerr said it looks like he's turning the corner and understanding how to play with Draymond and Steph on the floor. Former Warriors star Chris Mullin also believes the Warriors' solution this season may be in-house, strengthening the argument to wait for the summer to see who is available, whether that be Giannis or not. Warriors must already have sights set on free agency reunion with former guard. An obvious move that needs to be made nearly 6 months out from free agency. After Klay Thompson signaled his intentions to join the Dallas Mavericks early in free agency, the Golden State Warriors moved quickly to find a replacement in the form of DeAnthony Melton. Melton was terrific in his time with the Warriors, but unfortunately it was far too short-lived after suffering a season-ending ACL injury against the Dallas Mavericks on November 12 at Chase Center. The Warriors must already have their sights set on signing DeAnthony Melton again in free agency. Golden State wasted no time utilizing Melton's 1-year, $12.8 million contract as soon as he became trade eligible, dealing him to the Brooklyn Nets along with second-round picks for Dennis Schroeder. It's fair to say that Schroeder's fit with the Warriors has been less than ideal, particularly in comparison to Melton, who was much more 3&D and a perfect complement to Stephen Curry in the backcourt. While you can't attribute all of Golden State's recent issues to the loss of Melton, there is a direct and unsurprising correlation between his absence and the downfall of the team's season. The Warriors were 9-2 when Melton got injured, and have since gone 11-18 to fall back to a .500 record and 11th in the Western Conference standings. After dealing with a back issue that saw him miss multiple games early in the season, and also limited him to 38 games last season, Melton returned and started just 2 games alongside Curry prior to his devastating injury. While a small sample size, the backcourt duo helped lift Golden State to 2 of their best wins of the season. Melton had a 19-point, 10-rebound double-double in a big 11-point victory over the Thunder in Oklahoma City, with the 26-year-old having shot 5 of 8 from three-point range while adding 2 assists and 3 steals. Melton followed that up with 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists on 6 of 12 shooting against the Mavericks, which included playing out the closing minutes after suffering the season-ending injury. The Warriors had found their Thompson replacement at the shooting guard position. Unfortunately, we only saw it for a fleeting period, with Golden State having failed to find an effective solution since. With Melton now recovering from injury, the Warriors must do all they can to retain a relationship with the 6'2" guard with the hope of bringing him back in free agency during the summer. Given the injury factor, it's likely Melton will be available for the taxpayer mid-level exception, approximate $5.7 million, or even less this time around. While there's months to play out before we enter legitimate free agency discussion, this is an obvious move the Warriors should have their sights set on once the window opens at the end of June. Before the trade deadline. The current options for the Golden State Warriors on the trade market aren't incredible. It is no secret that the Warriors are still looking to make some upgrades, having already picked up Dennis Schroeder in a trade aimed to improve their playmaking and give them another scoring option. The jury is still out on whether that trade was a success or not, but what is clear is that the addition of Schroeder isn't enough to vault the Warriors into championship contention. The Warriors should steer clear of trading for a center. It now seems like the Warriors are looking to upgrade at center, but that might not be the best idea. The 4 names the Warriors have been linked to as possible trade targets are Nikola Vucevic, John Collins, Jonas Valanciunas, and Robert Williams III. All of these guys are solid players in their own right, but unfortunately, none of them are good enough to put the Warriors into championship contention. Vucevic is the best option of the 4, but his defensive shortcomings make it damn near impossible for the Warriors to use him for a deep playoff run. Vucevic's contract also poses issues for the Warriors as they would likely have to give up important players like Kevin Looney and/or Gary Payton II in the trade. So is it really worth it to give up depth, draft picks, and cash flexibility for next season just to have a better shot at avoiding the play-in tournament? Probably not. The Warriors can develop Tracy Jackson-Davis. Besides the fact that trading for a center would likely involve giving up assets without dramatically improving their championship chances, it also could hurt the development of second-year center Tracy Jackson-Davis. TJD has been having a decent season, especially as a late second-round draft pick from 2023. His points, rebounds and assist numbers are all up, and he has shown some of his pick-and-roll and defensive potential. He and Schroeder are slowly building up a pick-and-roll chemistry that could prove effective later this season and into the future if Golden State were to re-sign Schroeder. Giving up any of their trade chips at the moment for a player who doesn't change their season outlook seems foolish. They can save their picks and contracts for a better, more impactful trade this offseason, assuming one arrives. Unfortunately, this season may be hopeless. Instead of making a move of desperation, it could be smarter for the Warriors to just let players like Jackson-Davis develop and see what opportunities may arise this offseason.